I think. Since we brought Snowjob in from the 25th anniversary line to show some differences and yet similarities between his figure here and the whiteout figure from 2010, I thought it might be fun to bring in this guy right here. Here we have the mass retail release of the G.I. Joe Real American Hero collection, and it actually has Big Ben and Whiteout. Now, if you do have the 1983 Snowjob, or you know Snowjob from his look here, you will notice that in many ways he is pretty much the same figure that came out in 1983, but there are some differences in his figure and that figure as well. Unfortunately, I don't own the Snowjob from 1983, but I wanted to go ahead before I read the file card from the Wolf Hound driver, Whiteout, that I would read the file card for Whiteout from 2000. Now, bringing in the file card of Whiteout, the Arctic Trooper from 2000's A Real American Hero, you will see there is quite a bit difference between this Whiteout and the Whiteout that's included with the Wolf Hound. Now, that's what makes me think they are two totally different people and not the same character at all. Now, with these file cards, with this one here, we may have had Larry Hannema, who wrote many of the issues of the Marvel run of G.I. Joe comic, but he did have special guest writers every once in a while. He also wrote many of the file cards, and it was actually Larry Hannema's idea to do file cards. Otherwise, we wouldn't have ever seen file cards on any of our figures, nor possibly any of the bios on figures that we have nowadays from any line, whether G.I. Joe or Transformers or on. So it says file name Lee Leonard J. III, primary military specialty Arctic Ski Patrol, secondary military specialty communications, birthplace Bridgeport, Connecticut, grade E-6 Sergeant. Now when we get into the rest of the file card, you'll see how it has a very Larry Hannema feel to it. It says tired of northwestern winters, Whiteout's family moved west before he could walk. He was raised in the Arizona desert, where the temperatures are known to reach 128 degrees in the shade. After college, Whiteout decided on a career in publishing, with revenues gained from the sale of a rather valuable baseball card collection. He founded a political magazine with a decidedly eccentric libertarian bent, entitled Live Free or Else. As publisher, Whiteout took more heat than a lone cactus in the middle of a desert. A trip back east convinced him that a cooler climate and a career change were desperately needed. Once he witnessed his first snowfall, he was hooked. Whiteout took to the skis and the snow and the way a squirrel takes to trees. No maneuver is beyond his capabilities, even when carrying a backpack and rifle. Even growing a beard to insulate his face against the sting of blast of downhill runs. The Joe team recruited Whiteout when it was learned that he single-handedly saved the lives of 12 mountain climbers trapped on the unforgiving slopes of K2. So there is Whiteout's file card. Then let's bring in Snowjob's file card, which said Snowjob, file name Moore Heron W. Primary military specialty Arctic Ski Patrol. Secondary military specialty Rifle Instructor. Birthplace Rutland, Vermont is how I would say that. Snowjob was a major Olympic biathlon container. He enlisted initially for the special training and support privileges that the Army gives to Olympic champions. However, to his consideration of Army PR flags, Snowjob volunteered and was accepted into the G.I. Joe team. Qualified expert, all NATO long-range marksman rifles, XMLR-3A laser rifle. Submitted by Gung Ho, you think we call him Snowjob because he does his job on skis. Negative. He's a con artist, pure and simple, except when he picks up his rifle. Sure as heck, something's gonna fall down. So, very nice. That supposedly is a quote brought to us by the character Gung Ho. Now, I'm not sure how you feel, but I am getting the feeling that both of these were written by Larry Hannema. This one we know for sure was written by Larry because it's on the card back of a 2007 25th anniversary snow job, but it's actually just a reprint of the one that would have came out for the 1983 snow job. This one right here, again, I am not 100% sure, but I'm thinking it's Larry Hannah, because the thing with Larry Hannah and his file cards, they always seem to have some type of backstory or a connection or a path to how the figure or the character or the person became a part of G.I. Joe or a part of Cobra. And now this one is a little bit funny and has some sense of humor in it, and I feel that this one also has the same thing, because you've got Gung Ho's quote that's a little kind of funny, and then you also have with Snow Job being originally an Olympic biathlon, and now that allows him to become part of the G.I. Joe team. But now that we've shown these two different versions of Whiteout and Snow Job, let's go ahead and look at the Wolf Hound driver Whiteout's file card, or as I've been calling them, ID cards or ID badges, because they're not really so much file cards, not really that much information in them. Here we have Whiteout's ID badge or clearance badge. It says number 1019, Whiteout, name Leonard J. Lee III, and that's actually the same name that they use on the 2000 Whiteout, so it would have been nice if they could have maybe made the Wolf Hound the 4th, Leonard J. the 4th, and not the 3rd. It says serial number 999-46-LL27, grade E6 Sergeant. So they both are grade E-6 Sergeant. There is no serial number on this one, so you can say that they're the same people, or they don't have to be the same people. Now it does say mission equipment C-102 impact resistant insulated helmet and anti-glare protective goggles. So at least they don't go and talk about a gun or something else that is equipment that he doesn't come with. They do talk about the two equipment or accessories that he does come with as a figure. It says Whiteout is a cold weather specialist for the G.I. Joe team and experienced in polar combat mobility. He equips the team with the gear, tools, and tactics necessary for a successful mission against the enemy, and the elements when the team infiltrates the Cobra geothermal base. In the Wolf Hound, you can pop this all the way back. I'm a little nervous about that snapping, so keep an eye out for that. But he does fit, even though he doesn't sit completely, but you can get it where he looks like he's holding on to the joystick at least. There he is holding the joystick, and you can bring the steering wheel down, and you can probably get him to hold on to the steering wheel. Here he is somewhat sat. He is holding the steering wheel and also the joystick or gear stick. So it looks rather cool. And then we can close the canopy. And you can still see in there, but you can't really see too bad that he's too squished or anything like that. So that should work for Dave and others that like to be able to see their figures in the vehicles. Not 100% see-through, but that way you get a little bit of both worlds. I hope you've enjoyed my take on the 2010 Wolf Hound from the Pursuit of Cobra. And I thank you for rating, commenting, and subscribing. I appreciate it, everybody. It really means a lot, and it really keeps me going. So thank you very much, and I will see you next time. Bye.